riots. They're terrible. To be honest, they're terrible.
It's just like, I never seen this in my whole life.
Terrible for the people who's directly involved, that people who are victimised because of it, and people who had a lot of heartache from it.
It's just sad.
This is ridiculous.
It's terrible.
We heard it's peaceful, but it's not.
They sent out the opposite message to what they were trying to deliver in the beginning. Because I think the message they're giving out is we're hooligans and we're just going to rob and steal and do a madness, rather than we're standing up for our rights and think you're taking liberties.
I feel like it was something that was waiting to happen in England, especially among the youths, especially among the impoverished people who have been bottling up anger for a long time. But I feel like I definitely thought it was something that was bound to happen.
I think it was just an excuse because it was opportunistic criminality. So yeah.
It's just a massive excuse for people to go out and start stealing lots of stuff. Right?
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
I think they did it to get the police attention. So
If you see this government and a lot of these Western governments who are perpetrating acts of barbarism across the world, it's no coincidence that your own people will then take on the same actions that they see their government doing.
You know, this one fact is you've got the kids who've just lost it. They know they're not economically viable. What do they have? They've got nothing. You've got nothing to lose. You react in this way.
Yeah, to like get stuff that they can't afford.
the police are idiots.
Because of the first of all it started off with a shooting, a little anger issue, but then it boiled it into some riot and free-for-all thing, you understand, for everybody, which is wrong, innit, you understand? That's
I think it's a lot to do with ignorance, poverty, depression, isolation, anger, and lack of opportunities.
I don't think it's to do with homes. I don't think it's to do with the fact that a man got shot dead. God bless him, innit, you see what I'm saying? But, it's not. Yeah. The only defence I have is it's not to do with youths and their homes, innit. That's the only thing I regret people say. To be honest, it's youth and hatred against feds and hatred against their communities and hatred against what the law is doing for them. Because most people come out here, they haven't got nothing to do. They haven't got no youth clubs to go to. They ain't got no social clubs that they're involved in. That some people don't feel welcome in certain communities, certain aspects. You see what I'm saying? But other people now, they will bond in and they will get along with what's going on. But for what they were doing and how they were protesting, their evidence against feds wasn't the right way. If they're gonna do it, they should hit it up against Parliament.
Like, there's no excuse for it, really, when truly. Like, I don't think anything gives you the right to run into someone else's store, someone else's job, and wreck their livelihood. Because if it's real,
I think it was just out of the moment things that everyone just went crazy for a bit.
It's just the climate, really, that we're in at the moment. There's no jobs.
I mean, the younger ones, I can understand it was just a hype. I don't think they really thought about the consequences.
Yeah. Senseless violence. It was opportunistic. It didn't seem like there was much reasoning behind it.
They want to take it out on the police, then why didn't they go like police station or to the job centres? No, because they still want to get their money and stuff like that. So that's what I believe. I think they're just doing it just for the sake of it, really.
It was sparked. What sparked the gas was the one, obviously, the killing of Mark Duggan at the protest. No one was heard, and so, you know, allegedly a young girl was beaten by the police, and then that sparked that riot, which led to domino effects. But like I said, that was the only spark. That was only the spark in the gas that was in the air. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So.
Why wouldn't you participate in that?
Because my mum wouldn't let me. I'm joking.
I'm working, I don't need this money.
Like, you were not brought up to go, okay, I'm going to go out looting today. Like, you weren't brought up to do that.
People robbing Poundland, that's embarrassing again. It's a joke.
So why did you not get involved?
Because my mum raised me better than that.
They should have increased the number of the officers on the street, plus at least with small businesses they should have helped them more.
I think they're a bit too lenient, I think. But I mean, generally, yeah. I mean, it's sort of, there's too many people and we weren't really well prepared, but it could have gone a lot worse.
If the police could have done it.
Yeah, I think they just needed more policemen, and the day that the riots went down, that's when the police came out, and I thought that was stupid as well. I think they needed more, and even the law I think is stupid that you can't even attack the people that are going around doing this. I think it's just stupid.
Well, I think to begin with, a lot of people are blaming the police, but it's not really their fault because they're hugely outnumbered, and the police officers that are, there's only like 5 in 1,000 that are trained for these kind of riots. So I don't think they really had much, do you know what I mean? They didn't have much. Experience, exactly.
I think they should actually use some sort of force against them rather than just standing there.
Yeah.
They should have acted to stop them, not just to watch them.
It's a bit of a difficult situation when you're the police officer, because if you're violent, it's human rights, it's police brutality. But if you're not doing your job. So what can you really say?
And if they don't get power from the government, and they're only just doing what they can, like they're going home to families and stuff.
Yeah, it did look like they were just there for display than to actually help anything.
They weren't. People are walking past policemen and they're doing what they shouldn't be doing, but the policemen are standing there, and they shouldn't just be standing there.
I think the police sometimes went a bit over harsh, like the way they were beating up people, but then again they had to because they were being attacked as well, so it was kind of 50-50, but I guess it was alright. But I think the whole looting thing, I think as well as the riots trying to be cleared, they should have had more police trying to stop the looting because they just went past it.
I think they should be a bit more violent, like forceful, because like when you went with the whole like, oh it's okay, like we're just gonna arrest you, didn't really do nothing. But like once you like got the batons out and just dashed them, like, everyone took more notice.
Government it's their fault that it's got this bad. You know what I mean? And as well on the news that David Cameron, for days and days it was kept getting announced. Oh, David Cameron's even had to cut his holiday shop to come back. And when it's his job, what does he expect? Praise that he's got to come back. And it was he came back on the 4th day. He should be here on the 1st day.
It would have been faster in act, maybe use like the rubber bullets and like, tear gas. But well, you're out in the streets, you're rioting, you get what you get.
They should have started using like rubber bullets and that water hose thing everyone was going on about. They should have dealt with it properly. Yeah.
In terms of the power the police had, I think they should have been given more leeway to use more force, if you know what I mean. I know that's a bit of a controversial statement, but I think had Tottenham been dealt with in a more forceful manner, you wouldn't have seen it spread.
I think the police, I don't want to say this, but I don't really like the police, but I think they've done a good job.
And what do you think the next step should be?
That was just fixing up all the buildings, punishing the people that have been caught. That's it really, making sure people feel safe in their streets. That's it really. Everyone look out for each other.
You persistent? Why
am I persistent? Because persistence pays. You understand? If you don't persist, you understand, you're not going to get nowhere in life. You understand? If you just sit down watching TV and playing PlayStation and listen to hip hop music and then saying like, oh, you got no opportunity, and you know what I mean? It's just not going to work. You need to go out there and, you know, like get motivated, get to this. There's enough support in London rather than the places that are closed down. There's still places that are open. You know, so you just have to utilise that what you're doing. You know.
I think everybody can holler at me. Yeah, I just work for Streets to Life. I'm one of the founders. I'm going to be going for about 6 months in Croydon, based on Sellers Road. And we offer services to young people, especially people from dysfunctional backgrounds that are involved with gang culture. And offer services like voluntary work, apprenticeships, training, education, workshops.
It's going to be more riots, definitely.
Obviously, I've lost nearly £80,000 there. If I invest that money again, what is the guarantee that after 6 months, after a year, after 10 years, nothing will happen like this? What's the guarantee?
What's the next step after the riots?
I'd say first of all, you've got to clean up Croydon, evidently. Like buildings that are mashed down, obviously they need to get repaired. But one thing I would say is that I think relationships over time between young people and police have been broken down. For example, with stop and search, a lot of the time when I've been stopped and searched, they haven't really done it in a polite way. They've been really aggressive about it. And afterwards, there was no thank you. You know, thank you for cooperating. You could have done like if police took out some of their time to like engage young people in a positive way, I think that maybe they would have a lot more respect for them. Because I was listening to someone on TV and I really did agree with what he said. He said that police now, young people nowadays, they'll stop and listen to policemen not because they respect them, because they're afraid that they're going to hit them with a baton. I think that's wrong.